All right, we are live. Shout out to everyone coming on in. We're gonna go grab a drink. Looks like you got a bunch of resting orders and or defenders down at 64.50. 64.50 on yes, indeed. Nice. How's he doing? You talked to him at all recently? Okay, we're gonna go grab something to drink in just a minute here. Just making sure we got the volume points of control all lined up. And the volume point of control from the 11th has been holding thus far. You had a bunch of taps to it yesterday. We swept it after the open yesterday. And once more and held it. This is going to be the fourth attack on there. Looks like we're coming back inside the range of this 2-day channel. Still have yet to attack some significant delta. 493 sell side for the session. Be right back. We'll just leave it. We'll leave it up for you guys right here. What's up? All right. I would expect a sweep below the 730s as a passive test to these volume points of control, unless they want to defend this. We had a mighty amount of consolidation before pushing up, and now we're kind of inside the range here. We're getting oversold on 7 time frames with the 7 here on our indicator suite. We previously had the nuke up at the top here, so we've seen a sell-off from Wednesday the 13th until now. Kind of messy sell-off, but managed to reset 7 of the time frames in the process. On the daily, you're kind of okay on a daily reset of the RSI and the 4-hour. So how much further down? I would expect a little bit of a push down test, and if you get a huge rally, then that could be the hold here. Had some bearish divergence up here now prior to the open. Broke down. Now I'm back at the 745 area. Shout out to all 4 of you lovely viewers. Got 12 minutes. 252 resting orders at 7:30 on NQ, and ES has a slew down at 450. Basically since yesterday. So it previously held that region just off that level. So there's a bunch of people looking to get in there. Do we sweep this resting order lot? Seems to make sense. Let's go see how the open is. What if I don't want to do that? Okay, thanks. What's up, everyone? How's it going? Nine minutes. Back on that busy schedule again for the mornings. Last week of this. Boom, 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 boom. Amazon. What's up, everyone? 6 people joining us. Nice. So we got still negative 461 sell side aggression hit to the 36 cumulative for the day. Not really doing much just yet. Just the 5 minutes before open jitters.
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,463.25.
Less than 2 minutes. Yep, for sure woke. Yes, kind of making a higher low while NQ put in a lower low. Kind of, yeah. Almost open. And we're off.
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,466.5.
Got a tight volume node here in this region. Hitting some pre-market buy side. Hitting the volume imbalance created from the push down. Looks like we're about to sweep the London lows, as what we were saying. This could be the pivot. We swept the 818 volume point of control. This looks like it's going to be continuation to the downside, breaking the lows, going to the 244 lot at 730, and the resting order
Absorption
we were
ESU
talking
5
about on
CME buyers
ES.
at 64.62. Sweep
Here we go.
NQU 5
They
CME
just hit
sellers
that
at
lot.
23,730. Absorption NQU 5 CME buyers at 23,730. Sweep
Hit a
NQU 5
300
CME
sell
sellers
lot.
at 23,719. Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 64.60.
Okay, so we swept the resting orders at 7:30 and going lower. Now I'm making a seller aggression in the 1,000 lot level. Next volume point of control down at 677.
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,456.5.
Nice.
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 64.55.
You had the warning on the quantum level saying watch out for longs. We rejected off of the 818 volume point of control. We're down at another volume point of control on the 8th. We've recovered the entire bounce up at this point from the 12th Tuesday of last week. We're back in this 12th level. Hopefully you guys caught that. Looks like ES is going for the gold, has not yet hit that resting order lot, still holding. I would expect now that we're back here to sweep the 650s. Nice. Congratulations. What's up? That's what's up. Hitting that resting order and all that buy lot that was hit in the pre-market. A lot of times you want to look for the first pivot on the open, and then that's the one you take. Hitting 234 in sell side here, negative 2K in delta being teased. Could see a sweep continuation. You're getting a bid ask ratio still being heavy to the sellers. And ES has yet to fill those 650s. We just hit some buy side. It was a FU candle touch and go to continue. Another 160 lot of buy side tagged and continue. Buyer absorption to the downside. 650 is the next target. We rejected fully off the node. Yes, now hovering, breaking that 650, that will be huge. The next volume point of control, previous week low down at 588, and some volume nodes below that. That's your next key level. This is not holding, and you get these mid-August volume points of control goodbye. And or you come back above it.
Sweep ESU 5 CME sellers at 6,458.5.
Okay. Still haven't really seen an aggressive move in sell side. Remember, we've seen 8K in sell side aggression from the last week. So at some point, it will have a relief rally bounce at some point. Getting a cross up of the baselines on the 30-second. Got 2 minutes on the 10-minute candle here. We're getting a stopping candle in volume here on the 4-minute.
Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 64.62.
Hitting another sell side lot here at 685.
Sweep and QU5 CME buyers at 23,708.75. Sweep and QU5 CME buyers at 23,718.
So we had a previous stopping candle. Now we're getting an indecision doji on the 4 minutes.
Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 6,465.5.
We had the cross up of the baseline here and another on the 1 minute here. Started to get some water interest. Still indecision, so indecision doji on the 4 minute.
Sweep and QU5 CME buyers at 23,722.75. Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 6,468.25.
Okay. Okay. So we hit 337 buy side here and rejecting off the value area low, perhaps. In a continuation idea, we recovered some of this aggression to the downside. This could be a continuation wave. Needs to recover to 686 and then some for the seller to be freed from his punishment. And the buy lot down at 680 as well. All right. Basically size of them is what, like amount and size. And then what did the candle close in delta aggression? So this is 337 in buy side. So then looking for like a significant group of buyers. And I don't really see much, but there was, you know, tops being hit, you know, theoretically a bunch of buy side and a bunch more buy side, and then so I look at the delta in each of the candles and then how much, if it's like over 60 or 70, and all right, breaking the lows here. It looks like ES might be going for that 50 now. But that's why I coincide this with key levels. So volume points of control from previous days aligning with these targets, like stars aligning, you know, eclipses, moons, all these planetary bodies lining up. That's what makes things more juicy. Juiciness. So we just hit 800 in sell side with this pullback here. Yes, sir. But just, I mean, the main thing is putting time in and just seeing. And then right now, you just see that a 60 lot. Whoa, we just hit a massive buy pool.
Absorption ESU
600
CME
buyer
at
bought there
6,459.75.
at 656.
Absorption NQU5 CME sellers at 23,656.25.
Somebody closing out like a short from up top, most likely.
CME sellers at
From our nuke up top.
23,650.
So that was what is that 656? That's a massive buy guy there. Nothing here. So what was that? Somebody just closing out something. Did that show up anywhere? And it just hit a target out of nowhere. 656 filled. Holy moly. So most likely a player, that's a massive player, taking their contracts out from a short, most likely. Possibly switching to a swing trade long. Let's go see. So that's an inflection point for a
Absorption
long
ESU5
idea.
CME sellers at 6460. Sweep and QU5 CME sellers at 23,648.25.
I still would like ES to do a fresh sweep and then come back in. That would give me more
Sweep and
confidence of a
QU5
passive
CME
buyer
sellers at
on ES, sweeping all the
23,640.
resting
Sweep and
liquidity and
QU5
then
CME
come
buyers at
back.
23,645.75.
Like a manipulation down, sweep, and then come back. You're kind of getting no volume here. You had a pink stopping volume on the 4-minute, and then now it's a dead candle. Even though there was a massive buyer that stepped up here at 656. So 656 is a interest point. Yeah, they have this big bubble, as you see here, these big bubbles. So you can use the indicator on a toss to show this. I just, get more granular by looking on the left here, seeing each actual buyer lot. I'm more interested right now to see what ES does, wanting to see it sweep and possibly come back. The key of like a passive whale looking to fill their long down there. If it holds above this buyer, you could be seeing a reversal here. Still not getting acceptance at the 656 level. Still waiting on ES. What is ES going to do? I still think the theory to sweep this 450, 450 is what we're waiting to see. How does it hold and or not? You see our whale on the screen. He's wanting to get his passive order filled. Okay. I think we had some Canadian news. So far, getting acceptance above the 656 inflection point. All right, acceptance. Theoretics of the inflection point is true. Held it, got acceptance, bounced off it, and gone. Booyah. So I guess this 650 is a solid defender. They don't want it going below that. What's up, man?
Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,465.75.
Ah, what's up, cat? All right. hitting some buy side, like seeing some buy side hit like in these 88 amounts twice. This becomes like okay. So it's gonna probably pull back on some of this buy side and test some sell side here and off balance this. And it's just like you see it at enough times, and then when you pull out, if it's like it's still dark blue like that in perspective with all of this lots, that's a heavy amount. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Sorry to have that happen. Well, I mean, I know when things are messed up, like I basically got rejected a payment when it wasn't my fault once because the whole thing didn't close my trade. But yeah, so that type of seeing the buyers there like that, that's where I would like put my stop and or peel off. Like you don't want to see buying if it doesn't follow through there, or if there's not significant selling hit in counter to that. So now it's hitting some sellers here. And so you're like, interest peak 160 in sell side. And like, where could it come back to, you know? Yeah, and it's like most of the times you yeah, Mac is pretty solid. It's about as solid as it comes. So if you can't program for that, that's you. That's the program. So this looks like a Delta slingshot. So if you pulled back into these purple guys and came back off of them, so you know, until if it holds this, that could be a touch and go into some sell side to offshoot these guys. But at least seeing this, you know that it's going to pull back kind of thing. So now it's
Absorption
coming below
ESU
this.
5 CME buyers at 6,465.5. Sweep ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,466.25.
And then when they induce some more buys, and they could use that as
Absorption ESU 5 CME sellers at
a lot
6,468.75.
of
Sweep ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,468.75. Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 6,468.75.
So we're back. We
Sweep
still
ESU5
kind of held.
CME buyers
So
at
far we have a bull
64.70.
hammer on the 4-minute for the so
Sweep ESU5 CME
we're
buyers at
coming back above the
64.71.
8-8
Absorption
volume
ESU5
point of control.
CME sellers at
There's nothing nearby except
6,470.75.
way down below.
Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 64.71. Sweep ESU5 CME buyers at
Continuation.
6,473.5. Sweep NQU5 CME buyers at
Somebody's selling.
23,701.
260
Absorption
lots at
ESU5 CME
706.
buyers at
So that must be
6,473.5.
partial of
Absorption
that guy down
NQU5
here.
CME buyers at
See how that works? So that
23,705.75.
570,
Sweep
400
ESU5 CME buyers at
just took a partial.
6,474.5.
And another partial.
Absorption NQU5 CME buyers at 23,713.75. Sweep NQU5 CME sellers at 23,714. Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 6,475.75.
Chillin'. Still streaming. Tired though. It's the last it's the
Sweep
last
NQU5 CME buyers
week
at
of the summer. It's
23,775. Absorption CME 475.5 cm 6,475.25. Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 6,474.25.
Oops, I closed that out. You had some issue you were talking about, or something happened? Yeah. Right. Can you hear me now? Oh, that's lame. Right. It's not like deep frying or anything. Wait, what? And that's how much you could have gotten that they didn't offer? That's, yeah, rightfully so. So we're back at the VWAP. Oh, that's, let me turn that off. Right, right. No, you haven't been around in a while, so it makes sense to touch base, you know. That's dumb that it's like if it's something you were unaware of and you had somebody paid to keep you aware and they didn't, then that's dope. That would be reasonable. Like if you plead ignorance and it's a first time offense, that would make sense. Yeah, levels of ineptitude that go beyond your wildest dreams. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I'm on, like, my summer schedule is just so messed up that, like, my sleep is getting deprived and I'm not on the same frequency that I was prior to summer. So I'm kind of like on, what do you call it, probation until after summer stops so I can get back in my groove. But yeah, I mean, there's some clean trades here and there, but there's been a lot of like back and forth in the markets anyway. Like it's been pretty like retracey, you know. It's not as easy as it was, let's say, in early July or June. That was much easier to trade. But yeah, we're getting a pullback into some sell side. We had massive buyer that bought down at 656. TO was going off, so I muted myself, but I was streaming. But we had like a 548 and 178 buyer down at 656. And I was like, if we come above this, we're going up. And then it came up, retested it once, and boom, we were off to the races. And then I think they took partials up at 706 and 713 because they took 269 sell-off and 185 sell-off. Now we're retesting those partial. Maybe they're going to get back in. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, diddling in the middle, and then that kind of consolidation where it plays with the highs and like, oh, am I going to continue or am I going to go down? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, ES defended those 450s really well. Like it's been flirting with that zone for some time and it just never swept it. We still got some resting orders on NQ at 656, like a 76 lot at VWAP up there on Bookmap, but
Absorption ESU
we're just
5
getting
CME buyers
rejected
at
off the highs.
6470.
Just going back in the range bound motion. Yeah, I'm surprised the August 8th volume point of control held, or they came back and reclaimed it. But there's not much more key levels around here, so it's the last line of defense at 677 and then drop below to the July points of control down at 500. So we're just kind of trading within the last few weeks point of controls. There's no real volume like in these pushes up though. It's kind of like, I mean, that there was that massive buyer, but other than that, like it's kind of empty. It's like a drift. I still got to work out and get some sleep though, so I can't be on much longer, but it's nice to hear you are back in business, but not in the bad news. Yeah. It's good. Yeah, I got one more week. Well, no, he's probably working on the back end with Motive Wave. Like he saw that as an opportunity to like go in the back end. And yeah, there's a lot of buggy software, which is why if I find one that works, I'm hesitant to switch, you know, like I'm a creature of habit. So it's like a toss, as buggy as it is, works. So I'm like, and then they have like sign up for the Mac beta, and I'm using Parallels, and I'm like, yeah, but I already got it working on Mac. Are you sure about that? You know, I don't want to be a part of that beta test. Like generally when you update, like when I updated my Wave link, it messed up my, like every time you become the first person to update, it's like you're the guinea pig for all the bugs. Like OBS, every time they're like, you want to update? I'm like, not really. Yeah, you want to throw a wrench into everything and see what happens? Right. It'll like offset your camera and make it all big, or your audio settings get messed up, and you're like, man. Yeah, they're like, hey, he's touching himself. It's like, that was supposed to be cropped. Pants, where we're going, we don't need pants. Yeah, there was some clean moves on the way up. That long was really clean, and then we had like a delta slingshot off of some sell side. I was like, this could be a slingshot, and boom, it continued. Other than that, now we're just kind of chilling. Like, you get a few good of those low hanging fruits, that's all you need. If I had to guess, though, it's not done going up. It comes back on 714, that 200 lot seller at 289, seller at 705. Sorry, 269 at 705, and then a 185 seller at 713. Those are your inflection points for a continuation on the long. If they use them as accepted lots, then they'll continue in their favor, rewarding them. If it goes against 715, then you can expect some continuation punishment to the upside. But we're not really seeing so much aggressive selling for the session. We're always within 1,000 negative sell side. And we did have 8K in sell side on Friday. So there's been a huge aggressive move to the downside, even as like lame of a sideways retracing path it's made. It's still, they did their thing, so we could be seeing a market reversal at some point, because we did have 7 time frames oversold before when we started today. Yeah. So far, it's that those sellers are getting acceptance, but need to hold above the 705 and 715. But you should always keep a beginner's mindset woke. The moment you think you got it figured out, the market will throw you a curveball and humble you. So it's better to remain humble and don't think you have it figured out. You never do. You always get more data. It's always an ongoing process. Let's just put it that way. And keep it that way. Don't get full of yourself, you know what I mean? I don't know anything. That's why my name is what it is, Illuminated Nothing. I know nothing. But we did trigger some sell side. So 162 hit at 691, another 77 lot at 700. If it comes back on these inflection points, you could be seeing some seller fatigue. I don't know. But so far, not holding the 700s. First things first. Yeah, I mean, I'm still, I'm just a dude on the internet. If you want to reward by using my code or whatever, that's much appreciated, but I'm definitely don't have anything figured out just yet. I'm taking it day by day. Clark, what's favorite show? Stream your favorite show. What's your favorite show? We just hit 400 in sell side here. My favorite show is like Deep Space Nine. That was one of the best Star Treks. Political, but well written. Had the biggest set too. Mr. Robot? Yeah, DS9 was awesome.
Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 6470.
What's Mr. Robot about? I mean, is it about a robot? If I'm taking a stab in the dark? Let's go check this out. Let me see. Why do I not know about this? Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot.
Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 6470.
Okay.
Sweep ESU5 CME sellers at 6,469.25.
Okay. Interesting. It has an Emmy Award for Outstanding Leader Actor. Where is it being streamed right now? Hulu. I don't have Hulu. Prime Video. Maybe I
Sweep
could see it on
NQU5
Prime Video.
CME sellers at 23,639.25. Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at
So we're making a lower low. We swept
Absorption NQU5 CME sellers at
everything basically.
23,634.75.
Yeah, your next key level's way down, like 100 points away at 524. So I don't. I mean, technically, before that, you have the previous week low about 50 points away. So I would expect some reaction down at 587, of course. You just had a 341 buyer enter at 634 on that slight push up from 623. So somebody from last week is closing out their short in profit and or switching sides for a swing. Oh, nice. That's good. That's nice. Yeah, that was a smooth rejection of that buyer. Wow. Yeah, Altered Carbon was really good. That was good that they brought those different concepts, like, having sleeves, calling bodies sleeves, and like, that's the thing I like about shows where you question concepts without getting preachy about it. Like it would have what we would consider woke stuff, like you could be a woman or a man or whatever. Like Takeshi Kovacs was like a black dude, but he's Japanese, and it's like it's not trying to put that in your face. Right, exactly. Every season he was different, but it wasn't like that wasn't the point, you know. Question reality and concepts like that. Right. Right. Yeah, like getting like a bird body or werewolf DNA fused in or whatever. It's like, yeah, you keep doing that. But like, you know, that's why Deep Space Nine, they had the Trill race where it's like they can live through hosts and they have all these experiences, and you're like, which one am I talking to right now? It's a girl, but Cisco's calling her old man, you know? They're like, he's calling her old man because he knew the previous host. And then she has all his memories. And he was a womanizer, so he's talking about his past exploits as a girl that's really hot, Jadzia or whatever. And you're like, wait, what? And it gets confusing, but it's not preachy, you know? But it's like, that's what alien life would be like. It would be so alien that we can't really relate. But we would try to, you know? And then don't get me started on the Trek, the Kurtzman Trek, because they had like the Trill reintroduced with millennial writing, and then the person like corrects the gay doctor by saying, "We prefer to be called they, them." And I'm like, oh. And it's like, did they have to put that in there? It's like they didn't do that. It's like the 90s was so much more progressive. Like you had a single father black man captain that wasn't like, we have a powerful, strong black man in the lead role. It's like, why is all of like modern day stuff got to be about identity, you know? Why can't it be a passive element in a cool storyline? Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't get I just don't get why they like they buy mainly male-oriented properties and then try to make them palatable for females. It's like, why are you trying to change what worked? Just run what works, you know? Like why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? It's like, why do
Absorption
people have
ESU
to put their
5CME
modern
buyers at
take on things? Why can't you just like
6,262.75.
take the essence of the creator and run with it? Like, why can't they get people that are actual fans to do this stuff? Like J.J. Abrams, he never even liked Star Trek. He said he didn't like it, and he liked Star Wars, so he tried to make Star Trek into Star
Absorption
Wars with
ESU
this Kelvin
5CME sellers
timeline
at
bullshit. And it's like,
6,462.5.
well, we're not fans for that reason. And if you're not a fan, why are you doing it? You know, it's like Feige was originally a fan of Marvel, but I don't know what happened to him. He lost the plot. You know, it's like Andor, I heard, was really good. And that was a shame because it was amidst all of the other stuff, like the power of many, like
Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 6,461.75.
yeah. Well, I heard that there was the sad thing. And I heard it was like too intelligent and it's most likely not going to continue. So the sad melancholic thing is it's really good and nobody's going to know. So it's kind of like, but I you know, but they tried to make it morally ambiguous without being preachy, I heard. Like I was actually like really interested in watching it. Like Andor seemed like really, I don't know.
Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 6,461.25.
Yeah, it was what do you call it? Like back to what Greatest Nothing was saying.
Absorption ESU5 CME sellers at 6,459.75.
Right. Spider-Man or whatever, like, you know, he's kind of goody-goody, like, you gotta do the right thing, buddy. Yeah, that's true. It's not, you know, Captain America is one of those too. Like, he's literally got justice, sense of justice gave him his power, you know, like that super soldier serum gives him the might he has based on his inner virtue.
Sweep and QU5 CME sellers at 23,584.25. Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 6,458.25.
In Civil War, they explored that a little bit more because him and
Absorption
Tony get into
ESU5
it.
CME sellers at 6,458.25.
And you're like, whoa, I'm not seeing the clear side of cap right here.
Sweep ESU5
But yeah,
CME
like,
sellers at
I mean,
64.56.
back to what you were saying, but
Absorption
they're trying
ESU5
another
CME buyers at
50% of the
64.56.
population. It's like Kathleen Kennedy has been nothing but a cancer to Star Wars, and her wearing that short shirt saying the Force is female. It's like, why do you even got to do that? Like, why do people play into those dynamics of like rubbing your nose and stuff? Like, it's like you can have women be strong and men be strong at the same time. It's like you can chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. It's possible. You don't have to be one or the either. It's not binary. So it's like, you know, when they had Black Widow, who's one of the few superheroes without a superpower on the Avengers, like it wasn't preachy. Like she didn't have to make Hulk into a helpless person who can't even Hulk out, or, you know, like Thor, a fat ass playing Fortnite to be strong. She was just badass. But then after Disney buys these things, they just make all the men weak or inept or comedically dumb. And then the women always have to come clean up their mess.
Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 64.55.
Yeah. In an unrealistic fashion, too. Yeah. Right. They they moved the stick of, they disown their own. Like they're and you have the power of many, and they're all lesbians that like can use force magic to witches. It's like, okay.
Sweep ESU 5 CME sellers at 6,453.25. Absorption ESU 5 CME buyers at 6,453.5.
Yeah. And then people fail. And then, and to, to, to bring, to bring it back to like what they do is like the lady who directed it, she was like an assistant to Weinstein or whatever. And this comes back to when all of this started ramping up with the Me Too movement. It's like, okay, there was a bunch of dudes that were really nasty to women and had the casting couch mentality and stuff. And it's like, but I wasn't that person. So why are you punishing me and all men for what some sins of some dudes that were in that industry are? And why does the whole industry have to be in that same lockstep thinking? And then people fail upwards, like, like Moonves, like who's a owner of Viacom, which was part of Paramount, like gave Secret Hideout the keys to Star Trek, and then he keeps giving Kurtzman more passes on Star Trek, even though he's failing. Like all of his series suck, and he keeps getting more green lights. And it's like if you go dig deeper, like Les Moonves had some sort of scandal that he was kind of privy to, and as did that lady who did the directing of The Alkalite. Like all these people kind of like have these like backstories where it's like, oh, so they had dirt on these people, so that's why they're kind of letting them screw up these IPs. Yeah, there was a few video games I played back in the day where you could do that. Like you could choose your path. Yeah, I stayed away from all the Star Wars stuff when I saw like some of the messaging. I was just like, I don't really want to get my like it was the same thing like with Kurtzman when I saw there was a Borg character in from Voyager where 7 of 9 basically took these bored
Sweep and
kids and made them
QU5CME sellers
into
at
like her pet project because she saved them from the
23,579.5.
collective
Absorption and
and then taught them about
QU5CME
the
buyers at
humanity that she experienced, and then she became their surrogate
23,579.5.
mother of sorts. And then one of them was named Icheb. And then on the moment I stopped watching anything of Kurtzman was when, like, she goes to rescue Icheb from this mafia where that trades Borg parts, and they were ripping Icheb's eyeball out of his head, and she just straight up kills a whole room of people, and it's like, this is not Star Trek. And why are they doing member berries with intimate moment characters and just killing them? It's like, no, I'm not here for this. And I'm just like, no, this is not Star Trek. I'm sorry. But it's like, yeah, I don't like it, distorted my perception. So I'm just, yeah, in the first season. And then they also had like that whole thing where the admiral's chastising him on his privilege, or that drug addict character lady who's like estranged from her strong son for her drug addiction, but then she guilt trips Picard. It's like, oh, you and your chateau. And it's like, yeah, but there's no desires in the future because you can have whatever you want. So stop putting your 21st century lens over everything, you modern pieces of garbage. You know, it's like, it's not the 21st century anymore. But it's like they can't get past their Hollywood like pretentiousness to like write good stories. So yeah, I wait for people to like, somebody said on like, and I've heard Andor's good from so many vectors now that I'm actually like, okay, maybe I'll watch something Star Wars. So it's trying to tackle too many narratives. Right. And that's one other thing is like, you don't have to have like somebody brought up a good point. Like, you don't have to have everything connect to people. Like the whole member berries, like key notes that they play is so tiring. I remember Pepperidge Farm members, like it was like, I remember. I remember. But it's like the like the notes they play just get so tiresome. Like doing something like Knights of the Old Republic, like you had a game like that. Like, why not go 1,000 years in the past and just do a whole new thing? So you don't have to bump. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I remember. Remember?
Absorption ESU5CME
South Park, it
buyers at
hits so many things right on the nose.
6,452.75.
I love that when they had like Cartman going to the universe where like Cartman became Kathleen Kennedy in another universe. It's like, put a chicken in, make her gay.
Absorption ESU5CME sellers at 6,453.
I mean, it's not even like it. Yeah, it looks like ES is about to sweep the 450s. Like, we've been talking about that resting order since yesterday's. It's been static since yesterday, and we've been hitting that so many times. So this time we might break it. And I think NQ is anticipating that break, so they're going to move alongside it.
Absorption ESU5 CME buyers at 64.51.
Yeah,
Sweep
likewise.
ESU5
Always a
CME
pleasure.
buyers
I gotta
at
go too.
64.51.
I stayed on much longer than I
Absorption
thought.
ESU5 CME buyers at 64.49.
All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.